Preparing. All right, you are live.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Terrie Talks Tea. Today is Tuesday and it is October 13th. And it is a very special day for me for a lot of reasons. It is my son's birthday. Happy birthday, Eric number 2, Eric Jr. So today, I want to welcome all of my guests to Facebook Live. I'm excited about this show today. I've been looking forward to it. But I look forward to all my shows, but this one is pretty special. But before we get into it, I always like to update you guys on Happy birthday, Eric number. I want to update you guys on some things and that's been going on in the country. As you are all aware, today it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so I'm wearing my pink in honor of those who have been impacted by breast cancer. Also, you guys always know what I like to start out with. What are you drinking today? So I'm gonna do something really quick. I hear I'm getting background noise. So I may have two things going on here. Hold on. Hold on. Technology, please. Okay. All right. So let's keep moving. We're not getting any more background noise, I don't think, are we? Are we getting background noise? I want to stop the background noise. We won't continue until I stop the background noise. You guys know how I am about technical difficulties. So let's make sure that you guys can hear well. I want to make sure that you hear this because there's some important information that we're going to be sharing today. Okay, so we're good. All right. It's good to have a great team. Thank you guys. I really appreciate that. So let's get moving. So what type of tea are you drinking today? Today, I am drinking Numi organic tea. And it's bamboo with fresh, soothing spearmint, lemongrass, and elderflower. And it was given to me by Cindy Van, a very good friend of mine. She's a small business owner. She owns Classy Nails in Aurora. And look at my nails. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for the tea. It is very, very good, very soothing, very relaxing. So drink up and let's have some fun. So a lot's been going on in my life. I didn't want to cancel the show, but I'm going to be leaving in a couple of hours. My father passed away. And it's been hard. So today on Terrie Talks Tea, we're probably going to be talking tea and Terrie going to be talking tears too. So we're just going to be teeing it up today. But anyway, so you got your tea. You're ready for the show. Tell me what you're drinking. What are you drinking this morning? I need to see in the chat, what are you drinking this morning? Tell us, what are you drinking? So this show is all about getting ready for 2021. Are you ready? In the chat, I want you to tell me, are you ready for 2021? Are you ready mentally? Is your business ready? Well, the show today is all about getting ready. We have some wonderful people on the show today, and I'm very excited. Remember, the mission of this show is to educate, equip, and empower you with some of the industry's most accomplished individuals and resources. And today we've got two great guests that I'm so very excited to share with you. We're going to do some different things today. we're going to actually do some things, some moves, if you will. I'll let the expert tell you exactly what they are, but we're going to do some moves that will help us to be able to cope, deal with stress, and get us ready for 2021. We're going to talk about getting your business prepared. I am going to go through some foundational things that you need in order to make sure that you're successful for your business in 2021. Remember when we first started going through COVID and there was a mad rush on, oh, there's grant money, there's loans for your business. And what I found through many, many conversations with small business owners that a lot of small business owners were not prepared. And unfortunately, a lot of those who were not prepared were Black and Brown people. And so we're going to talk through at a very high level some of those foundational things that you need in order to make sure that your business is ready for 2021. And most important, I'm going to bring you an expert. I'm going to bring you the biz lawyer, Rosezena Pierce. She's here all the way from the ATL and Chicago. I'm so, so excited. So we're going to get into the show and I'm going to get ready for our first guest. So make some room, make some room, make some room. The dynamic Lisa Michelin is coming. She's my friend. She's my gal pal. I want to introduce you to Lisa. She's a health and wellness expert and owner of Yoga Journey Experience. She's also a life coach and recently began wellness work at Divinely Sea Moss in Naperville. Lisa's going to share with us best practices to get your health and wellness in order for the upcoming year. And she has a very special treat. But first, Lisa wants to know, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for 2021? Welcome to the show, Lisa.
Good morning, Terrie, and thank you so much for having me this morning. I'm so excited to be here and to talk about getting prepared for 2020. I mean, 2021. We've already been prepared when we weren't prepared for 2020, but we're going to be prepared for 2021. And you spoke about some really key points. First of all, our foundation. That is what we stand on. And are we grounded? We have to ask ourselves those questions. 2020 knocked us off our square completely. But did it really? Because when we think about it, we really rose to the occasion. It was a challenge, but we got stronger. We got more tenacious. We started working from home when there was no even opportunity to work from home. We started educating our children, which is something some people never did. We spent more time with our families. I find that if you really look, you can find the gratitude in every single aspect of your life. So yeah, we went through it and we may go through it again, but we will be totally and completely prepared. So this morning, I want to talk about and move about 4 key points. The first point is to be in the moment, to find out where you are in your body, in your head space, in your emotional space, because all of those spaces contribute to where you are in your spirit space. Secondly, change your state of being. We can change from where we are. If you are in a place where you feel stress or anxiety, all you have to do is change your emotional, physical, and spiritual geography. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Focus on your breath, which is the one thing we don't do when we feel stress. We do not take a deep breath. We do not, the breath kind of stops. We're like, in fact, I'm pretty sure most of us have been like, for all of 2020. So we're going to exhale. And that makes a huge difference in your whole physiology. And we're going to find gratitude in the moment. So everybody come join me. We're going to change our state. So let's say you're working from home and your kids are making noise and you are completely stressed and you are on a deadline and you are at your desk and you are, I got to get it done. We got to change the state of being, because if you're pushing it through in a state of resistance, you're not going to get it done perfectly. Well, you get it done, but by the time you're done, your shoulders are up around your ears and you got a headache raging. So we're going to change our state of being. So the moment that you find yourself stressed out, angry, even afraid, we're going to change our geography. So if you're sitting, you're going to stand. Well, if all of us, we're going to do that today. We're just going to stand up and we're going to bounce a little bit. So we're going to bounce with it and we're going to shake our hands. So we're going to shake our hands. We're bouncing. We're getting grounded on the earth. We're bouncing. Feet are about hip distance apart. We'll shake a little harder, bounce a little more, shake, bounce, and then smile. Everybody laugh because this is fun. Woo! And then shake your hips from side to side. Open up your spine. Now, don't we feel better? I know I do. So now, everybody, sit down and we'll begin some practice. So we feel a little different now.
Yeah.
Shoulders a little bit looser. So let's take a deep breath. Let's find the breath in this moment. Let's just focus on the breath. When you take a deep inhale, it feels really good. And I want you to exhale with H-A. Now that is a Qigong breath. And Ha actually focuses on the heart. It even feels good when you do it. Take a deep inhale with me again. Now we'll focus on de-stressing the body. We'll begin with shoulder rolls. So let's shoulders up around the ears like we just mentioned. Bring them back and drop them down. And then we'll roll them. Roll those shoulders. We might hear some snap, some crackle, and some pop. And that's really good news because we're rolling the shoulders to get that out. And then we'll bring them up, drop them down, and we'll roll them forward. This time, take the fingertips and place them on the tops of the shoulders, and we'll flap our wings. Rolling forward, allowing the back to open. One more time. And we'll release the fingers down to the tops of the knees. Plant the feet into the earth. Sit up tall. Neck rolls. I'll demonstrate. Chin to chest. And then we roll to the right. Join me 4 times. To the right. Finding the breath. Coming back to center. Pause for 1 breath. Inhale. Exhale. Rotating the neck to the left. I know we're all hearing some snaps, some crackles, and some pops, but that's because we're not moving our neck enough in the right way. Chin to chest, find the breath. Inhale, come back up to a neutral seated position. Now we'll do cat-cow stretches. A cow stretch, which I have no idea why they call it cow. We're going to arch the back and look up with the chin, tip it all the way up. And then on the exhale, round the back and put the chin to the chest and look at your belly button. And we'll do it one more time. Inhale, looking up, arching the back. Exhale, arch, round that back. Open that spine. And one more time. Inhale, tip the chin up. Exhale, round the back. And coming back through, sitting up tall to a neutral spine. Reach both hands all the way up. Look up, reach up, press the hips into your chair. And now we're going to twist from the belly button over to the right. You can grab your chair for leverage, opening up that lower back. And inhale, coming back through the center, reaching both arms up. Exhale, twisting to the right. Now come back through the center, reaching both arms up to the sky, palms facing. Bring them together and release that prayer to your heart center. Find the breath. Place the right hand on the chest, the left hand over the right hand, and take a deep inhale, finding the breath. Feet firmly planted in the earth. Exhale. 5 more of these wonderful deep breaths. Finding your center, finding your foundation, finding your strength. Finding the gratitude in this moment. Everything you have been through, all the way to this moment, has led you to your greatness. So from this day, from this minute, this hour, this day, this week, and this year, you can find your gratefulness in the moment. Because your gratefulness is that you made it to this moment right here. One more deep breath. I want to thank you all for practicing with me this morning. If you'd like to know more about Divinely Wellness and our yoga practicing, or my wonderful new product, Divinely Wellness Sea Moss or Detox Drink, you can find me on Facebook or Instagram under Lisa Michelin.
Lisa, that was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I really, really appreciated that. It's a great way for me to start my morning with some de-stressing. There's a long road ahead for all of us. We are not out of 2020 yet. It's been a challenge for us, but we know that with some of these coping tools and tips that you provided for us, that those tips will help us to be able to make it through some of those challenging days and moments. Because I'm telling you, I know we all go through moments when we're okay, and the next moment we're not. And it's okay not to be okay. But if you're not okay, there's resources like Lisa. I have a therapist for mental health, yes. I have a chiropractor. I have Lisa. I have those resources because those are things that I need in order to be able to help me to cope and make it through a lot of things that life is throwing at us right now. So Lisa, thank you for that. I don't know if there's any questions for you in the chat. I'll wait for my team, but I do have some questions for you, Lisa. Why has it been so difficult for people to maintain the proper wellness during the pandemic? Why do you think that is?
We've all gone into survival mode, and it's from a fear-based program. We all got really scared. I mean, in the history of my life, we've never gone into quarantine and been shut in our homes. So people got worried. We kind of ate our feelings because we started cooking and eating more. Some people exercised online, but really we would go through periods of high activity. And then when we were done doing all of that stuff, we were back with our feelings because we weren't processing them properly. I was one of these people. I got laid off during the pandemic and was like, oh my God. And I would work out and do all of this stuff. But by the end of the day, I would be so stressed out and so full of anxiety. And the only way that I was able to process was to use meditation, which I like to call medication. So I'm highly medicated. I mean, highly meditated, not highly medicated. And it's so important to find self-care processes that work for you. What works for me might not work for everyone else, but I think we were so afraid. We didn't know what to do. I mean, you see people looking so happy, dancing on TikTok, but really they were like, oh my God, what's going to happen to my job, my life, my home, my kids?
Yeah.
And it's unprecedented. So yes, we do need a therapy outlet. We do need a meditation outlet. We need yoga. We need fitness. And to actually get really present in what's going on in our lives, which is something I mentioned, like, where are you right now? Because I know that people were at home with their spouses and they're like, oh my God, I've never been at home with you. And I've been married to you for 25 years. So it's been a real awakening for all of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, the key thing is to identify what's really going on and move past the fear. Because if you stay in a place where you are operating from fear, it becomes complete survival.
Yeah.
And then you're not living.
Yeah. Yes. And I love what you said, Lisa. You said that a lot of us ate our feelings. So people are talking about the COVID-15, you know, you're in college, you get the freshman 15, people are calling it the COVID-15. So people ate their feelings. And I love the thing that you said, everything you said. I always love everything that you say, but I'm just going to call out a few. You said meditation is medication, and it is. I find that I don't do it as much as I should, but I find when I do it, it releases toxins out of my body. It frees up space in my brain where I can think, and it releases some of those unhealthy thoughts, and it brings in like a breath of fresh air. Just like the breathing techniques that you took us through. When I do meditation, I just feel so good. It gives me energy. And like you said, it doesn't work for everybody, but being still, no one can tell me that being still doesn't work for them. Being still works for everybody.
And
Go ahead.
I was going to say, in the word, it says, be still and know. We do a lot of talking to the Most High.
Yeah.
All day long. But we very rarely sit and listen. And I think meditation gives us an opportunity to clear the mind and have presence and audience with the Most High.
Beautiful. I love it, Lisa. And before we go, Lisa, Lisa has a great product that I want her to share and share her website and her contact information, because I'm not going to say how old she is, and that's not what this show is about, but Lisa looks amazing. So, sea moss, bring it.
Divinely Sea Moss. It is an amazing product. I have been plant-based and lived a vegan lifestyle for the past 30 years. So it is my passion. It had to be my passion because I couldn't pay someone to do all that for me all those years. So I had to learn it. So juicing, healthy lifestyle, plant-based eating has been everything to me. And sea moss has been a part of that. For years, I've been taking sea moss and either in a pill form or in a gel form, or actually putting it in foods, because raw vegan people use sea moss to make raw vegan cheesecake. People don't know it, but they're eating sea moss usually. It's usually sea moss in those cheesecakes. However, you can use nuts and get a little bit of firmness, but sea moss is really an amazing nutraceutical. It's a food, but it is full of nutrients. It's a sea vegetable, and it has 92 minerals, and they're bioavailable. So if you take a mineral supplement in a pill that comes from a lab, your body doesn't like that much. But if you give your body a food source that is full of minerals and nutrients, your body's like, oh, thank you very much. I love that. And it is able to assimilate all of those nutrients. So that's what sea moss does. It gives us all of the benefits of sea nutrients, strong iodine and good iron. And actually some of my sea moss has chlorophyll in it. So it's bright, beautiful colors, and it gives you all of the nutrients that come with that. And you can find it on my website, livingnamaste2.com, and I can leave that in the chat. On my Etsy store, Divinely Sea Moss. On my Facebook business page, Divinely Sea Moss. Or you can look on my Facebook page and find plenty about Divinely Sea Moss. So you can find it anywhere that you find me. So Instagram, Facebook, and my actual website. And I can leave my information in the comments under our watch party.
Beautiful. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you for having me. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Hotep.
Thank you, Lisa, so much. I appreciate you. Talk soon.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Wasn't that awesome? Don't you guys feel great? You started your day off with yoga. I bet there's some out there who's never done yoga before. Keep doing it. You'll see the results. It's going to make a difference in your life. Thank you, Lisa, for joining us today. So we're talking more about getting ready for 2021. Are you ready? So I'm going to take this segment of the show about 5 minutes before I bring in our next guest, the biz lawyer, and I'm going to just talk about some foundational things that businesses need in order to be prepared for 2021. We all know the unexpected things that our nation has experienced this year. Well, the country walking into 2021 could feel hopeless for many people. I've talked to so many small business owners, so many people with their professional career, and there are some people that are feeling hopeless. And so what do? So I'm here to help equip you with some of the best practices to get your business successful for 2021. So just a few things I want to highlight is that, first of all, sit down and do an analysis, reflect. It is the fourth quarter of 2020. Have you reflected on the first 3 quarters? What things have you put into practice that were a part of your initial 2021 goals? How did they work out for you? Have you done constant evaluations every quarter? Are you reflecting on a weekly basis? Are you reflecting on a monthly basis? If you haven't done that yet, now is the time to do that. Keep in mind, we're in the last quarter of 2020. Do you have a tax ID? Remember, and I'm sure a lot of us want to forget, right around May, June, when funds started to become available for business owners, there was a lot of scrambling. I got a lot of phone calls. I talked to a lot of people who were desperate, felt hopeless, were in tears, not knowing what they were going to do next with their business. Some foundational things that I found: having your business set up legally with a foundation and having a tax structure. Do you have a tax ID? Do you know what your EIN number is? It is your employee identification number. Through your state, Illinois is illinois.gov. You can go to your state's website and you can find all of that information there. You establish your EIN number through your state. It's your employee identifier number, issued to you by the IRS. Have you identified a legal structure for your business, a legal entity? Sole proprietor, LLC, corporation. What do you want to be when you grow up? Think about your vision, your mission. When you set your business up as a legal entity, whether that's an LLC or corporation, or you want to continue as a sole proprietor for a period of time, understand what the tax ramifications are for each of those structures. There were some words there were some acronyms that were put out there that a lot of small businesses didn't understand. NAICS code, NAICS code. That is the North American, it's a long acronym. I have to look at the words too because I don't remember what it all stands for, but it's North American Industry Classification Code. And it's the code used to classify your business. And from a national standpoint, that code is used from a federal standpoint to collect data on our businesses. It's also used if you want to set your business up to do business with corporations, the federal government, your local and state, identify with your NAICS code, your NAICS code, GATA. GATA, GATA. That's that thing that threw that acronym that threw a lot of people for a loop. It is the Grant Accountability Transparency Act. So if you're looking to get grants, you have to understand what GATA is. You have to register your business through sam.gov. sam.gov. That is a government website where you can register your business. And in order for you to take advantage of a lot of these opportunities from a funding standpoint, from an access to capital standpoint, these are foundational things that you need for your business. What is Duns and Bradstreet? What is that? Do we know as a business owner what that is? Duns and Bradstreet, your Duns number is a unique 9-digit identifier for your business physical location. So when you're going to get funding and looking for grants, there has to be documentation, proof that you actually have a business, you have a physical location. So we talked about GATA, we've talked about DUNS, we've talked about NACE, we've talked about the EIN, and we talked about setting your business up as in a legal structure. Now, I'm going to bring you an expert. And she is Rosezena Pierce. And I met her about 3 or 4 years ago at an event, at a networking event. And she was absolutely amazing. And we've stayed in contact. I'm so happy that she agreed to do this with us today, because I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why I wanted her here, because I talked about I talked about all those things about setting your business up correctly. You also have to protect your business. You have to protect those things that you own in your business, like your intellectual property. Terrie Talks Tea is one of those things that I have to protect because that's my show. And so when you own something, there are some things that you have to do in order to make sure that no one can take those things away from you. So I'm very happy to bring Rosezena Pierce on. She is an attorney at law at the Trademark Law Boutique firm. She did her studies at John Marshall Law School, located in Chicago, and she's the founding attorney at R.J. Pierce Law Group, PC, since December of 2014. Rosezena, we are happy to have you on Terrie Talks Tea and have you share your knowledge with our guests. Please say hi to our guests and take yourself off mute, and we're glad to have you. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Hi, everybody. How you doing today? I do have the Facebook group pulled up so I can kind of follow along with the questions and things like that. But thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me to be on your platform this morning. I truly appreciate it. And I'm so happy we were able to stay in contact with each other.
That is so awesome. So I'm going to ask you, I've got a few questions, but during the show, if there's anything that you feel that is frequently asked that the audience need to know, because I'm going to tell you, this is an area where I deal with hundreds of small businesses every year. And this is an area where we don't know a lot. And so I'm happy to have you as an expert that can help us understand what we need to do to protect those things that we own in our business, whether it's from a copyright, whether it's trademark, to make sure that we work hard for the things that we have. And so we want to make sure that we're protecting those things and that, we're setting ourselves up for, even from a partnership standpoint, I'm learning that there's a lot of legal issues that folks get into when they don't set themselves up correctly from a partnership standpoint. So we're happy to have you and your knowledge here with us today. So as an attorney and expert in trademark and copywriting, what is it that people take for granted when it comes to protecting their work and their brand?
So most people take for granted that no one will copy their brand, or no one will utilize their intellectual property for their own personal gain. And a lot of what I do, because I am an intellectual property lawyer, we specialize specifically in trademark law. A lot of times we are reactive to the situation opposed to being proactive to the situation. And it's a very, you are placed in a better position if you're proactive to it versus reactive, because being proactive to it, most people may think, oh, it's so expensive, that's something I just don't want to deal with right now. But if you're reactive to it, it can be a lot more expensive down the line than what it could have been if that was something that you prioritized and put, as a way of being proactive towards the situation. You gave a lot of great information about what it is that people need in their business. And I'm actually doing a 5-day series right now because, some as small business owners, sometimes we just don't have the availability or the knowledge in order to operate in our business so that we can be successful. And I always say an educated entrepreneur is a successful one. And so a lot of times, we think, oh, if I have my LLC or if I have my corporation, I'm good. Like, I got my name, it's taken care of, but it's not actually. And as entrepreneurs, I just did a talk about this last night. We should understand the different types of laws that apply to us in business, right? So one is contract law. We should be well of that, because we may be entering into agreements whether we are aware of them or not. And sometimes certain things should be memorialized in writing when we are creating certain relationships within our business. The second one is business formation law. That is important for us. But the reason that is important for us may be different from the reason we think that we need to have this in place. So we need to understand the purposes for that. And then also the third one, a business owner should know and be well versed of, is intellectual property. Because in our businesses, we're constantly creating, we're constantly being innovative with new ideas and sharing it with our clients or with the world as we're posting and marketing and engaging. So we need to be clear on those different types of areas of law as they apply to us as business owners.
Wow. Okay, that is a lot of great information. So an educated entrepreneur is a successful entrepreneur. That is so very true. And I am a testament of that. Until I became a part of the Women's Business Center, I worked in corporate America, and I had started doing a few things with a small business and not really understanding all, when I say all that it takes to own your own business. Because when you're working for someone else, you don't see, there's so many things that you don't see. But when you're doing your own thing, you're everything. You're all you got. So educating yourself, staying informed, whether you can get on a webinar for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. What I found that every single webinar that I get on, I find out something. I learned something. When I go to network, I'm intentional about my networking. I go with a plan. to make sure there's, what do I want to get out of this network? Just networking to be networking, to me, is just a waste of time. So as a business owner, those are the things that you start to pick up, and then you start to learn. And you said something else, which small business owners, and I just want to stress this: invest in your business. Things that you don't know, you could, like you said, Rosezena, you could save yourself a lot of time and a lot of money up front if you invest up front. We're so afraid of investing $300 or $400 up front, or $1,000 up front, and then on the back end we end up spending $3,000 or $4,000 because we were so afraid of putting that money up front. So these are all things. And when I talked about getting your business ready for 2021, put some thought into it. Think about your budget. What do you need? Do you need a trademark lawyer, an attorney? Do you need that? Put that into your budget. Put that into your plan.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that. You talked about 3 types of law. The intellectual property one, I know something about that. The other 2, that's why we need you, because that contract thing, I've seen, there's a lot of people who don't understand about contracts. Like I said, another big one is the partnership thing. That's a huge, and I'm going to tell you guys, think about that partnership thing. Make sure you get some things in order. I have a workshop coming up about partnership. There's some documents that you need, like make sure, and I know it's hard, especially when you're dealing with a friend or a family member. That's the hardest thing to do. But if you do it up front and get it out of the way, and then you don't have to talk about it anymore. Document it, and you don't have to talk about it anymore. But if something happens, you can go back into that document. You know what? We agreed to do this. And then there's no problems.
Yeah.
Okay, so for our biz lawyer, has the pandemic had any impact on copywriting and trademarking processes?
Absolutely not. It has not. Most trademark examiners, and they already had worked from home, the majority of them with seniority. So when COVID happened, they just sent everybody to work from home. A lot of trademark attorneys already work, from home or work virtually. I have a law practice that's virtual. My main office is in Chicago. I'm sitting in Atlanta. I have 11 employees that work for me. We are all throughout the country. So it actually, the only effect that it had was there was an increase. There was an increase versus a decrease. It was an increase for our business. It was an increase for the USPTO, because now people are sitting down and they're like, okay, this job is not guaranteed for me. Let me get my business in order. And that's what a lot of people have been doing. I also just want to really quickly go back to some things that you said about partnerships and things like that, because it is very important. And I do trademark law. And I get people and they come to me and they're so happy and they want to have this trademark together. And I always tell them, look, you guys need to go and do a partnership agreement and, dictate what is going to happen with the trademark in case you guys decide to break up and things. And they always, oh, we don't need that. I said, please go do that. And then come back to me. And before the trademark takes about 7 to 9 months just to process. And I can tell you every single partnership so far, I don't know if it's, I'm, warning them and probably putting a bet. They break up before the trademark is even done processing. So partnerships is it's like entering into a marriage.
It is.
But and for marriages, sometimes a prenuptial agreement seems a little sticky or whatever. But for a partnership agreement, it's irresponsible if you do not have that agreement going into that relationship, because and then too, I always tell people, you never know. You guys may be best friends, but if one of you, say for instance, die instantly, right? God forbid, then what did you guys say should happen after that? So it's just responsible. Another thing is, as far as with contract law, we no longer offer contract law, but one part of contract law that we do heavily advocate for, and we also do offer, is work for hire agreements. Okay. And the reason being is because a lot of us are hiring people to create, our graphic designers to create our logos for us, hiring photographers to create photographs for us. And what we do not know is at the creation of those assets of those creative works, they are the copyright owners of them. And the only way we become the copyright owners as the business owner is if we have them transfer those rights in writing. That's the law. If they are the creator of it, we do not own the copyright until they have signed off in writing. And a lot of us do not know that. We don't know that we don't even own our logo. We don't even own the copyrights to our logo. And why is that important? Because the copyright lasts 70 years plus the life of the author. Just recently, Nike went through a lawsuit with the Jumpman, the Jordan pose, the Jumpman Jordan pose with his arms out. Mm-hmm. Whereas the photographer who took the photograph of Jordan back in the late 80s, when Jordan was on the playground that inspired that Jumpman logo, sued Nike for back royalty payments from the logo because he said he was the copyright owner for the photograph and he should be paid royalties from the logo. Now the court disagreed with him. This was recently in 2014. Nike had to fight and litigate this case, right? And they didn't win, but what is that? That is a lesson for us to know that in the event I am pushing my logo and it becomes a popular logo like this Jordan Jumpman, my graphic designer can somehow come sue me if he wants to for back payment of royalties, because the copyrights that he holds is for 70 years plus the life of the author. That's why it's important that we are aware of intellectual property law and contract law, because if we have them sign off on those rights on a work for hire agreement from the beginning, now they don't have any rights to it, and I can use this logo free and clear like I desire to, and I can put as much money in it to grow the business and not worry about somebody else coming after me for royalties later on down the line. Or their family members coming after me because it's 70 years plus the life of the author. So if he dies, the graphic designer, and then his family, his estate want to come and say, hey, you owe the estate royalties from the work that our predecessor did, then that's something, else that you might have to deal with. So that's why I say an educated entrepreneur is a successful one. A lot of us do not know that. I'm from the west side of Chicago, right? And I had to go to law school to learn that. So that's just not common knowledge that we know. So we have to seek the knowledge so that we can be prepared, so we can protect our success as well.
I love that. You are so awesome. Okay, on Facebook, how many of you all know that? Do you own your logo? Have you protected your logo? Probably not. So, you know what I did? I learned when I first established Strategic Exceptions Professional Consulting. I had a wonderful person that helped me with creating my branding materials, and they told me they went and had my business name and logo, had it copyrighted and protected. I paid for it, but I didn't know that. So like you said, an educated entrepreneur is a successful entrepreneur, because a lot of us have beautiful logos. We have all of this great stuff that we've created because we are creative, we're innovative, and we're sitting at home now want to create. But you also need to protect that creation, because and I take this as an honor, and I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way, but as you start to do things and people like it, you start to see other people start to imitate what you're doing, and I'm very flattered about that. But I also learned with that flattery, I need to protect my stuff.
Yeah.
And so there are going to be duplications of efforts, because everybody is not your customer. Someone else can do things similar to what you're doing, and they want to go, they prefer to do business with that customer. And I'm fine by that. That's fine. And I know you are too, because we can't serve all the millions of people in the world anyway. But what you said about work for hire agreement, and when someone else is actually the creative one and they own that, you don't really own it. I'm sure, and I want to see in the chat how many people knew that, because I did not know that, and I deal with small business owners every day. And so, like you said, there's so much we don't know what we don't know, and that's one of my mottos. We don't know what we don't know, so we have to ask the questions. And as a small business owner, if you're not willing to ask the questions, then you're not setting your business up to be successful. So we have about 5 or more minutes, and I've got a couple more questions because you're telling us a lot of stuff that we don't know. So thank you very much, and I know this is helping a lot of people. In the upcoming year, what are some reminders for people to keep their business protected from copyright infringement? And I know you talked about some of those things, but what are some things that people can just quick things that people can do to protect themselves for 2021?
So 2021, not only for copyright infringement, but trademark infringement too. First and foremost, you have to secure the brand, right? And I actually own the trademark, secure the brand. Everyone was talking about secure the bag, but in order to secure the bag, you have to secure the brand.
Ooh.
And the reason you have to secure the brand so that you can secure the bag is because if people are trading off of your intellectual property and it's unauthorized by you, then they are taking money from your bottom line. They're using your creative works to make money for themselves, and they're not going to pay you. So you have to first make sure that you're proactive about making that you are registered. Like, so your trademark, you own that name, right? You own your logo, you own your slogan. And then also for your copyright, because right now it's 2020, and it's like last month we did a campaign, the queen of the trademark jungle. I was the queen, and social media and all of this digital space is the jungle, because basically people are just running rapid. They'll take your stuff. I have a client who has a very good business as a boutique, and she models her own clothes. And people just take her pictures, take her video, and they claim they selling the same clothes. And it's her, this is her business. And so one way we try to combat that is by first making sure that, okay, so now you took her picture, you took her video, she owns the copyright to that because she is the creator of that photograph and that picture. But then also we're going to watermark that picture or that video with her name, her brand name. And now because she's also the trademark owner of that brand name, they have no shame. They can't even remove the name. So they're just, and most people on Facebook don't even realize, okay, like so she used to fade it in and fade it out. And so they will miss it. So I told her, just keep it steady and keep it going, because now not only do we have them for copyright infringement, we also have them for trademark infringement. But now here's the thing, and I am very well aware of, not a lot of small business owners have money to take people to court for these trademark infringements and for these copyright infringements. But what we can do is utilize the tools that are there for us on Facebook, on Instagram. They have a copyright infringement and a trademark infringement takedown notice that you can go and file with Facebook and Instagram if someone is infringing on your intellectual property. But here's the thing, in order to submit those forms, you have to show you own the intellectual property. You have to be able to prove that you own that trademark. They're going to ask you for your registration certificate. They're going to ask you to prove that you are the copyright owner of these works. So there are some free or low cost things that we can have accessible to us to help enforce against infringement, whether it's intentional or unintentional. But we have to be able to prove that we actually own the stuff for those things to work in our favor as well. So first thing first, we're still in 2020, and I always say championships is won in the fourth quarter, right? So right now we can be preparing ourselves right now so that when we go into 2021, we're all ready. And so if someone does that, you don't gotta backtrack and go get yourself together first and then come and file the takedown notice with the social media sites and things like that. You can prepare yourself now. Be proactive, not reactive.
Beautiful. Oh my goodness, we have gotten a lot of wonderful information from Rosezena today. We have had Lisa, who gave us some wonderful moves and tips on how we can cope with stress. Rosezena, I don't know if you have anything else that you would like to share. Just give us some nice closeout words. I don't know if we have any questions. Are any questions in the chat? Okay, so I think you've covered a lot of things. And so I want you to close us out with a few parting words, and then how can we contact you to get more information about all of these different laws and how to protect our business, our copyright, our trademarks, and to make sure that we are ready for 2021.
Yes, thank you so much. First, I just want to say again, thank you so much for having me on your platform. If anyone wants to follow me, I'm not as good on Facebook. Instagram is my platform. So please follow me at The Biz Lawyer. That's THEBIZ Lawyer. We're actually doing a 5-day free live series every day this week at 9 p.m. You can catch the topics. It's posted on Instagram. Please follow me on Instagram. If you want to reach out to my law firm, you can email us at info@rjpiercelaw.com. Again, it's rjpiercelaw.com. I see my director of operations is in there. She just dropped my website link for you guys. I appreciate you all so much. And thank you so much for having me. And I just want to say, like I said, just keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. 2020, like I said, is not over with. You want to make sure that you are killing it this fourth quarter. Yes. So you are going into 2021 yes. on a high. Yes. We in business, whether it's going to be a pandemic or we're going to be faced with so many things yes. and adversity as entrepreneurs. But what will determine us and set us apart from the others is how do we take them on? And how do we push through, and how do we continue to keep moving forward despite all that is around us? So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Terrie, again, and this was fun.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you had a good time. We try to make the show fun. We try to bring information that people can use in order to be successful, and hopefully some of the tips and tools they can take and incorporate into their everyday lives and into their business. We do have a question about the cost, but they can contact you directly, because I know even for my business, you can correct me if I'm wrong. It just depends on what the business, what you need. The cost always depends on that. There's different levels of pricing. So normally what I do is I want to sit down and do a one-on-one with the client first before I can say what costs are. But your contact information is in the chat for those who want to reach out. Sakina Eccles, I think she's your executive assistant. She's posted your contact information so everyone can see that in the chat. So,
and she's the director of operations.
Director of operations. She's been very, very helpful to me and my team. So I want to thank my team. I want to thank Veronica. I want to thank Brianna. I want to thank Melody for helping put this together. It takes a lot of effort. I really appreciate them. And this has been really difficult to do this one. I started not to do it with the passing of my father, but I am a product of him, and I'm grateful for that. He was a very strong, savvy businessman, and he knows and understands, and he's looking down that life must go on. And I know he wanted me to continue to educate, equip, and inform people of the world on things that can help them be successful in their lives. If you want to reach us at Strategic Exceptions, you can visit our website at www.strategicexceptions.com. On our website, we have our newsletter. You can find all of our episodes of our shows on our website. You can subscribe to our newsletter. We have our fall newsletter that's going to be coming out at the end of this month. If you would like to sponsor a show, if you're a business owner and you would like to be featured on Terrie Talks Tea, please reach out to us. Again, our website is www.strategicexceptions.com. My email is tesleaders1@gmail.com. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next show. And the last thing, take a look at our marketplace. We're going to have some great resources and tools that you can go online and you can use those resources and tools to help you get ready, not only your business ready, but get yourself professionally ready for 2021. So we'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.
Bye.